Okay, this is a serious question. I think some people might be able to relate to it. It's about HIV and AIDS. What do you do if you're at your friend's house, say, and she's in the shower, he or she's in the shower, and you see a letter on her table? You go over to the table, you want to be nosy, you know, you cleaning up, you want to be nosy. You look at the letter and it says that he or she's HIV positive. What do you do? Do you let them know you've seen the letter? They clearly don't want you to know because they haven't let you know yet. What do you do?
So I think I would probably, if it was a good friend of mine, I would say something. You know, I would let them know, hey, you know, I was rifling through your shit, you know, and I came across a letter and I was kind of shocked, but you know, I'm sorry, you know, or whatever you want to express to them that's appropriate at the time. But I would definitely let them know that, hey, I'm here if you need anything. And, you know, I would talk to them. I have a different view on HIV. I don't have HIV, but I do have friends with HIV. And I have had friends who have had family members with HIV. So I think anytime, even though there's medicines and stuff out there that can prolong life with HIV, I think there is still a loss.
Yeah.
And so anytime you deal with a loss, whether it be a loss of a child, a loss of property, a loss of respect, there is a grieving process that a person has to go through. And I think that when you deal with life-threatening diseases, people tend to either go through that grieving process right away, or it's delayed for a very long time. And when it's delayed, you know, there's a lot of ways that it affects the people around them, because they haven't grieved, and it changes a lot of their personalities and their ways and how they would deal with things too. So I think I would probably ask her or him, you know, hey, you know, how are you feeling about this loss? I would probably kind of assist them in the grieving of the loss, in order for them to realize, okay, there is a loss, but you still can be made whole. You know, there is some inconvenience because, you know, people with HIV, you know, I mean, I would pray that they would go forever and never need to take the medicine. But if nothing else, meaning if the end result is not death, there is still the inconvenience of having to take medicine. Certainly I've had to take medicine at some point in my life, and it's an inconvenience, you know, for colds and different things of that sort. So there is an inconvenience, and then there is the stigma that's put on HIV that you're going to have to deal with, and that is surely a burden. And so it's a lifestyle change.
It is.
And so I think it's difficult for anybody to deal with that lifestyle change, especially if you're dating. It's difficult for you to convey that lifestyle change or prepare a person for that lifestyle change before you start dating them. So that's tough. I think I would want to be there for them.
And that's not really something that people want to go through alone. So your friend may not have told you about it or may not have expressed that to you yet, but that's not something that I'm sure that they want to die with and not tell anyone and just, you know, just take it to their grave and not let anyone know, because that's not something that you want to live through and be alone in. So, I mean, it's just important to have your family and the support of your friends throughout that time.
This is the thing. It always gets me a little bit when it comes to HIV and AIDS, because, you know, if I cut my finger, you know, you're like, oh, you know, it's your blood.
Okay.
You don't really think, you know, it's not that nasty, right?
Right.
But when you have HIV, it's different. So I think for me, I would be a little weary of dating somebody with HIV if they didn't understand exactly what my risks were. I would, you know, they would have to always separate the HIV from them, because, you know, I wouldn't want them to be, you know, careless with blood or careless with, you know, other stuff, thinking, you know, you get tweezers and you pick, you know, hair out of your face and you just sit it down because it's, you know, my tweezers and my, you know, but when you have something like that, you know, that is life threatening, you have to be mindful of that kind of stuff.
You have to be very cautious of that.
Yeah, so if somebody was cautious of me, then I would be, I think, I would be very cautious. I think, you know, there is no fear when it comes to me and dating somebody with HIV. But there is a fear that the person will stop to realize that we can live together and I can not have it and you can have it and we can be fine. But there's a loneliness that comes in it when you have it by yourself. And I think subconsciously that carries over into a carelessness almost. And I'm not sure if those people kind of secretly want you to have it with them to go through it together.
That's deep.
You know?
That's deep.
And yeah. And
that could be a risk. That could be a huge
and I think that
risk.
happens with some people, not all. Some,
right.
Some.
So you have to think about all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it's scary.
Absolutely.
But, you know, get tested.
Absolutely.
Get tested. You know, most people who tell you that they don't have HIV, they really believe it. That's why you believe it. Because they haven't gotten tested. They don't think they have it, but they do.
And protect yourselves. Women, protect yourselves. You can do it. You don't always have to rely on the guys. There are women contraceptives. There are female condoms. There's so many other things that you can do to protect yourself. Just be smart about it. This is your life that you're dealing with every day and every encounter. You know what I mean? You just have to be safe. You have to think about your future, think about your life, what you're living for, and just wrap it up.
And love somebody that's HIV positive. You know, those people have already gone through rough times. And they really are no different than you and I. So, you know, just love them. They're going through their stuff. Doesn't mean you can't express that you want to prevent the spread and the contraction of the disease and do the prevention efforts. You definitely want to do that, and you don't want to take away from those people by doing that. But you just want to let them know that, hey, you know, we want to make sure that as many people are healthy as possible, and we want to promote that and keep that. You're going to get into the sticky ooh. Get yourself together.
Absolutely.
Peace.